What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy. Welcome to another web thing. I'm not going to call it a web game this time because this time around, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Rather than a web game, I'm going to be doing some online, personality quiz type things. So you all can maybe learn a little bit more about me, the type of person that I am, whether or not the quizzes are accurate in my mind isn't the big point here. It's more like you can see how I answer these questions and that kind of stuff. That's what really gets you to see my personality. Okay, so, I'm doing this all from this site here, Quizoni. Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know, whatever. What should I do? This is the homepage, which will put, all sorts of random quizzes and stuff out here. Let's see what they have specifically for men, because I'm a man, and I want... I mean, yes, I'm a man, but... let's see. Oh. And... most of them are related to cars. Why am I not surprised? You know what? Let's go with the one that's different. Which famous revolutionary are you? Let's see how this goes. Come on, start, I say. There we go. How would you describe your childhood? What do you see, this is, I wish they would explain stuff a little bit better. I guess I'll go with traditional. Not really too much of anything out of the ordinary with my childhood. So, which of these quotes do you most agree with? Better to die standing than live on your knees. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. That's a good one. I want the cultures of all lands to be blown about... Okay. Be prepared for war is one of the most effective means of preserving peace. Time is everything, man. Yeah. No, let's go with the light one. A lot of the other ones seem... I don't know, kind of depressing in relation. Would you break the law in order to fight for something you believe in? Yeah, like if it suddenly became illegal to, say, be a Christian, I'm not changing that. Or, if it suddenly became illegal to, help people. I'm not going to say absolutely, because there are some things where it's just kind of not worth it to, actually keep doing it. You could talk about it, but I don't know. Anyway, which famous artist do you most admire? Really, the artist I admire the most is a friend of mine, but he's not really quite that famous yet. Shout out to my buddy Nick Sider. Seriously, the art that he does, though, it is friggin' amazing. It's basically hyper-realistic is the best way to describe it. It's these big paintings, and they're all, hand-painted and that kind of stuff, but they look like they're photographs. So, anyway, yeah. A shout out to him. But, out of these artists... I guess I'll go with Da Vinci, because he was kind of a jack-of-all-trades type of person. I feel kind of like that's how I am in some ways. Have you ever won an award? If yes, what was it for? Business, art or performance, bravery, more than one? I mean... It's what kind of awards are we counting? Are we counting, spelling bees, or things of that sort? I guess that would count in performance? Sure, let's go with that. Also, if you count awards for... I don't know. What kind of awards are we talking about here? Whatever. Why is Immanuel Kant famous? Oh, please, really? It's a German philosopher. Are there actually that many different people named Immanuel Kant, and that's why the question is like that? Or are they just testing your knowledge there? How do you handle a crisis? Jump in and help people however can. Call emergency services and let them handle it. Generally, I'm just kind of a helper. I like helping people. So, yeah. How would you describe yourself? I could be idealistic at times, but I'm pretty sure most people would not call me very charismatic. Pragmatic leader, persuasive visionary, problem solver. Problem solver, I guess? Again, I like helping people, which generally involves solving problems. So, sure, why not? Would you be a flower child or a punk rocker? Probably more on the punk rocker side of things. It just, yes, I'm religious. I was just talking about the whole being a Christian thing. But of course, these quizzes don't exactly respond to my microphone or anything like that. A beggar asks you for spare change, what do you do? I guess this one is probably the closest. I mean, I generally don't... It's spare change, yeah, sure, Actually, there are a couple of people that I've passed by a few times just on days off and that kind of thing. It's actually been the same people a few times, but like one of them is a veteran who lost a leg and, is needing extra money for disability stuff. And the other one, like right near the same place now, is raising money to afford cancer treatments and that kind of stuff for his wife, I think. So I passed by them multiple times. I have given them a little bit of money out of my pocket and just, it's little bits here and there. I just try to help as I can. So anyway, which do you think is most important, money or happiness? Duh. Happiness. Which quality is least like you? I think you've all seen I can get a little tongue-tied at times, mixing up my words and all that. I'm okay with practicality. Occasionally I forget what I'm talking about. So yeah, probably violent is probably the least like me. I mean, I might not be all that charismatic, but I'm even less violent. What side of the political spectrum are you? Probably a centrist. Or, you know what? No. Probably a little more complicated than that. Even better yet. Yeah, okay, I like that answer a lot more, because I hate the partisan politics. Hate it. I think it's probably the main issue with the American government these days. Do you believe democracy is the best political ideology? It's not a black and white issue for sure. See, technically, if you look at the Bible and the early Christians, what they had going on was technically more of like communism or socialism kind of thing. And when you don't have corrupt leaders or people taking advantage of it, that's actually probably the ideal way to do things. But in a flawed human world, that always goes awry. And so, yeah, anyway. But it's complicated. Which do you believe is the most effective way to stand up for your political beliefs? Again, it's a little more complicated than that. Definitely not military action. But sure, let's go with that. Which groups were you a member of in high school? What if I was more than one? Okay. No, I was not in ROTC. Actually, in high school, I technically didn't do any of those when I was in high school. Although, now when I find myself able to, I'm helping out with the chess club at the school I work at here. But when I was in high school, really none of those. I took Taekwondo, and that was that and youth group were pretty much my extracurriculars. How do you prefer to travel? Sure. Whatever's most practical. For longer distances, it might be car or plane, but for shorter distances, like around the campus here, I just walk everywhere. Unless it's raining, then I might just get in my car anyway. Which famous figure would you most like to be? Good question. I'd probably tend towards Abraham Lincoln for that. Just because, you know, kind of the mix of standing up for what you believe in and doing something about it and just, freedom. Which is most important to you? Physical, spiritual, mental. I mean, really, you want to have a good balance of all of them. So, all the above, I guess. It's hard to really have a totally fulfilled life if any of those are lacking. So, what did I have for breakfast today? Well, I had cereal, but it wasn't dry. I had milk, so not quite accurate there. Ew, okay. I don't like coffee, but that's not so much the ew. Cigarettes, no. Ugh, those things are horrible. I guess just because that's closest. But it's not entirely accurate because I had milk. It was not dry cereal. I also had a banana along with it. Anyway, where would you choose to live? Honestly, I would need to look into it a little bit more. So far, I don't have enough issues with the US to say I would want to live somewhere else permanently. Do you believe there is a New World Order conspiracy for a global government of the elite? It wouldn't surprise me if all the rich and powerful people are anyway, but I'm not going to say outright that there's a conspiracy, because I'm not much of a conspiracy person. Do you own a gun? No. There are a lot of people around me that own guns, but I do not. Have you ever run for political? No. Sometimes I feel like I should. Maybe, we could get this country turned around, although I don't have the proper degree for it. And also, I'm a little young for most government positions. Do you play a musical instrument? No. I tried to teach myself guitar once. Didn't go so well. I could not get chords for the life of me. These fingers are not the greatest for playing guitar. What do you dream of? All things considered, it's more so equality than any of the others. I mean, freedom... You know what? I'm just going to go with all three. Because they're all kind of important. If I had to choose just one of the three, I'd probably go with equality. But anyway. What style of hat do you like best? Really? None. I don't really wear hats. Unless it's cold out and it's like a winter cap kind of thing. Or, if I'm going to be out in the sun like all day, going to, I don't know, say a zoo or something, then I'll wear like a baseball cap. But most of the time, I don't really like to wear hats because then they get all sweaty on your head if it's hot out, or just, I don't know. I'm not real big on hats. Final question. Would you stand up and fight against injustice? This is like the same thing you asked me earlier, and I'll give the same answer. So, according to this, I am George Washington. I mean, okay, I'm not going to argue with it. Alright, that quiz took a lot longer than I expected. I'm going to try to squeeze in one more here. What should your new hobby be? Maybe I'll just go with that one. Again, 29 questions. Do you like to create stories or tell them? Yes, I guess. I don't know. How about just reading them? Not sure. When you want to do something that involves a lot of setup, but also plenty of reward. Maybe, I don't know. Depends on the ratio. I mean, sometimes, sure. If you do that all the time, that could get really tiring. How about something that's all about health and mindfulness? Again, sometimes, I don't know. Maybe more mindfulness. I'll go with that. Are you outdoorsy? Maybe, but I don't want an outdoorsy hobby. Sure, that sounds about accurate. I like being outside in the fresh air sometimes and doing the occasional outdoor activity, but I don't know if I'm like a camper type of person or anything like that. Creative. In some ways, yeah. You have an eye for what looks good, like, say, an artistic eye. I guess, in some ways. That was part of the reason art class was difficult for me in high school, because I was a bit of a perfectionist with some of the stuff, but my ability was not that good, or at least not very refined. Would you want to pick up something that's really craft and something you could turn into a career or side job? Maybe. I don't know. Could you consider this a craft that... I don't know. How about something entertaining that transports you to another world? I could go with that. Would you want something interactive? Yes. How about something you can attend classes for? I mean, it doesn't hurt. Not saying you have to attend classes for it. It'd be a hobby that helps you relax and think in peace. Let's go with more focused on being calmer. I don't know. That's not really a big concern of mine. I'm mostly chill. How about something that involves a lot of money up front to set up? Not a lot, so I'm going to say no. Something that could lead to free books and a blog. I could say I like the blog part. It's kind of what I do, except replace the B with a V. Do you have trouble visualizing things? It depends on the thing sometimes, I guess. Do you like to play around with filters or use Snapchat? I don't use Snapchat. I'm not going to say it's annoying, though. I could... Nah, let's go with that one. Do you use social media? Yes. Do you know what Bookstagram is? Oh, good grief. That sounds like such a ripoff of Instagram. Anyway, I'm gonna go with what is that? Are you a little... Yes, I'm probably more than just a little nerdy. Would you mind an addicting hobby? Again, don't want my whole life to be taken over. Something that's pretty quiet but can be done while listening to music. It depends on what it is. Something time-consuming. Yeah, I prefer having choice. I mean, that's what a hobby is about. It's about you enjoying it. It's not supposed to be something that restricts you or forces anything on you. Would you mind a hobby that involves possible eye strain? That sounds about right. I think everything causes eye strain these days anyway. Are you health conscious? Kind of? More than anything, you're looking for... I guess creativity or an escape. Not so much health. Jeez. I guess I'd lean more towards an escape, if I'm honest. Something you can play with others? Sure. I mean, I can do with alone time occasionally, so maybe go with this option. I mean, I don't mind doing things with others. It's just if I'm always around other people doing stuff that I don't even necessarily want to do, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, something you could share with others. Sure. Would you like a hobby that helps you improve something over time? Sure. Would you like a hobby that helps you get out more? I guess a little bit. Sure, let's go with it. And okay, it says I should pick up writing. There was a time when I thought about doing some writing back in like one of my English classes I had when there was like a poetry section that we had, especially that area. I don't know. I got on a bit of a poetry kick for a little while. What I'm doing right now is almost, you could take it as writing but in a different medium, because it's me communicating my thoughts, my perspectives. It's not so much on the storytelling end of things, though, I guess, unless you count my personal story. So, but anyway. So, I think that's gonna have to do it for this time around. Let me check my timer to see how far along we are. Yeah, that's probably good enough. So, let me get it back to where it's just me for the wrap-up, like usual. Okay, so that's gonna do it for this time around. As always, like and share if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel to see more videos as I post it, and click the bell button to be extra sure you don't miss it, along with following me on Facebook and Twitter, and any other social media stuff I might have developed. Those are my main ones, though, Facebook and Twitter. Anyway, follow me there, at MattConroyYT. The links are also, if you go to my YouTube channel, right on the banner there at the top of the page, in the bottom right corner of it, there should be links to both of those. And probably any other social media stuff that I put out there and get accounts for. But anyway, so yeah, follow all that stuff if you want to keep up with all my videos and maybe some in-between postings and things like that. Leave comments below for different ideas on things I could do, different web games I could play, or different quiz sites maybe that you've heard of, different types of quizzes that I could take. I guess that's it for this time around. So, I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Later.